February 22nd, 2021. Someone told me last week I said 2020. So sorry. Not that 2021 is turning out much better, but there's still hope. Uh, how was everybody's weekend? Oh my God, I had Wambui on yesterday, and I'm still like, um, thinking about it because she's such an amazing person. If you get a chance to watch the video, she was very entertaining. She really was. And the way she started loom knitting is so interesting. So interesting. Ashley, if you're out there, you gotta watch it. Crashly, because you'll get a kick out of it. So here is, I'll put a link to that video up here. Anyway, here is Alice in the Bottle. I'm getting there. I thought I would finish it last night. I did not. So I have like all of this area here and this little bit to fill in. Maybe tonight. We'll see. But Alice is done. Alice herself, I finished. There's a little bit to fill in right here, but the dress is all ABs. I put ABs in her eyes. The top of her hair is ABs. It was such a weird skin color, but it worked out. I was afraid when I was putting it down because I thought, oh, that is really weird. But, and this one, you can clearly see now that it says drink me. I don't know if you guys can clearly see that. Yeah, look, drink me. I love this. It's just a partial, but I really love this canvas. Okay, so let's, got a few more of these to lay down. I think yeah, I had it going this way. Oh my gosh, Jake is missing. Where the heck is he? Jakey? Oh, there he is. Hi, buddy. Want to come say hi? Say, nope, I want to sit by the fireplace. We got up this morning and he's just so funny. I take Tootsie outside. I'm like, do you want to go outside? And he runs into the craft room, plops himself down right in front of the heater. And it's like, nope, I'm going to sit right here. Oh, I didn't finish that part. Well, let's do that part, shall we? That would be fun. Oh, do we have an empty container? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm talking about. Like right in here, I didn't finish. I don't know how I skipped that. Anywho, it is National Margarita Day. I don't like margaritas. So, and I tried to do a little research. There's really no. It's probably a concoction that was invented by bartenders, to disguise the horrible taste of tequila by putting lime juice and into the drink and salting the rim of the cup. You can get the same effect by taking a shot of tequila and then follow it with salt and lime. Have I ever done that? Oh, sure. The drunkest I've ever been was on tequila, and it was horrible tequila. It was at a wedding, and I was so drunk, and my sister and I, we didn't know anybody at this wedding. My boyfriend was with me, but so my sister and I proceeded to get really rip-roaring drunk, and we go back, and it was a wedding in Chicago, so we go back to our hotel, and I'm out like a light. I am super drunk, and then all of a sudden I get up in the middle of the night and I go in the bathroom and start throwing up. So in the middle of me, like I'm laying on the bathroom floor, hugging the toilet bowl, the daggum fire alarm goes off. Now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. The fire alarm goes off. So now everybody's trying to evacuate. My boyfriend gets out of bed, puts his pants on, and heads towards the door. I'm like, hello? Are you going to help me? He's like, nope, you're on your own. And he leaves. So I clean myself up and get out of the hotel to... Yeah, well, that boyfriend didn't last long, let me tell you. No, actually, I dated that guy for a couple years. And ironically, I left him because he was an alcoholic. See, he could handle his liquor. I could not. So I avoid heavy amounts of alcohol, especially tequila. It's if I'm going to drink alcohol now at my age, it's got to taste good, like a little Bailey's in the coffee or a little schnapps, peppermint schnapps or peach schnapps or something like that. Something that has a little flavor to it. I'm not going to torture myself with lime and salt. No. So, what did I accomplish this weekend? I'm trying to think. Did I accomplish anything? No. Uh, did I finish any projects? Nope, I did not. What I finished was I finished this half of the cowl, and when you finish it, you cast it off, and then you put it back on. So now I have put it back on. You go to the opposite end and you put it back on the hook from the other end. This was the part on the hook before. So you put the other end on the hook, and then now I'm going to start the second half of this. So, and then you will bring the two halves together in the form of a cowl. I don't know if yellow's my color. This may be a giveaway. I don't know if I look good in yellow. I don't necessarily look good in this pale pink color, either. A little washed out today. I feel like I'm ready for a shower with this thing on, but I like it. You're like, Rebecca, that's weird. It is. I think I'll have this done in the next couple of days. I'm not going into the office today, but do have a meeting this morning, a Zoom meeting, so I need to set up my camera, but I have quite a bit of work to get done. I could not sleep last night again. One of those nights where sleep was just eluding me. Oh, judge, jury, and journey. Let's talk about the Propakovitz, whatever, Curly's trial. Well, as we all surmised, this judge cannot come back. He had surgery on Friday for his ankle, and I discussed it on Friday. I said, how in the world is he going to come back? He's going to be in so much pain. Well, I was right, and they announced Friday that the trial will resume on Monday, today, with a new judge. So, yeah. So they're going to have a new judge that will preside over the remainder of the trial. So I guess they have found a judge, and they're going to move along. That should be interesting. I wonder if that will change the dynamic of the trial at all, but I think not, because you don't get much out of Curly anyway. He just kind of sits there like a lump. So last night I was, scrolling through the trial channels, and I came across this one trial that happened 4 years ago. This man and woman were on trial for, so I decided I'm going to watch a little bit of this, because this looks interesting. Because the man and woman were defending themselves, and she was very well spoken. Apparently, both of them were very well educated, very well spoken. She did a bang up job of, questioning witnesses and very respectful to the judge, asking questions, things like that. But I thought that was a very interesting dynamic. So I said, let me see what this is about. So this couple had 10 children, 10 kids. And the oldest child, I don't know what he did wrong. He doesn't even remember what he did wrong. I listened to his testimony. He doesn't remember. But and all 10 kids had been sleeping in what they called the sleep room. So all 10 kids are sleeping together in one room. being schooled at home. None of them went to school. They were all homeschooled, but seemed to be doing quite well. Seemed to be well adjusted. Had things and toys to play with. Kept each other entertained. So at some point, I guess the 12-year-old son, the oldest at the time, pisses off his parents for some reason. So they tell him, "You're going to sleep in the basement from now on." And he doesn't remember what he did wrong. So he goes down and he's now sleeping in the basement on a black mat. And at some point, the parents decide they want to use the basement to exercise. So they need their basement back, and so they clear out a closet for him. That's also downstairs near, in the basement. So so then he begins living in this closet. So he didn't one day escape. There was a window in the closet, and he escaped. And he gets down the street, he didn't have any destination in mind. He just wanted to get out of there. He had been sneaking upstairs. He brought back down a DVD player and some food, and he got caught. And he said, he didn't want to face the consequences, so he ran away. So some police picked him up, and they scared him, and he told them his name, and they called his mother, and his mother came and got him and put him back in the closet. And they would bring him food. Like once or twice a day, they would bring him food. Which consisted of beans or tuna or rice, like that was it. And when they were bringing him the food, they would let him out to go to the bathroom. And they at some point began locking him in there. He was locked. He could not get out. There was no lights in the closet. They taped up the windows. And to hear the mother talk about it, she was questioning her own son. She's very religious family, and she was kind of chastising him for, didn't I tell you that, you would be punished for, it was very haunting, like for not, following the rules and, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, like this couple had absolutely no remorse. They thought what they were doing was right. This kid spent over 2 years in that closet. I didn't watch the social worker testimony. I don't know how it was finally discovered, but it was discovered, and they got him out of the closet, and the parents were charged, and the trial happens. And so I fast forwarded to the sentencing because I thought, I cannot listen to this whole thing. It broke my heart just to hear the son talk about it. Clearly a child who's going to need, because at this point now he spent a couple of years in the closet, would put him at about 14, and then his parents had been in jail for almost 3 years, so 15, 16. He was probably 17 or 18 years old. You could tell his affect was off. It just, he didn't know what he'd done wrong, but he knew that he was being punished and that he had to suffer the consequences. That was his demeanor. Like, he thought he deserved it. Poor kid. So the fast forward, the parents they're found guilty. They get 20 years in jail, followed by 10 years probation. And the judge says, well, I don't know if you guys will ever get out of jail, but if you do and you go on probation, you are not allowed to contact any of these children, ever. Until they reach the age of 18. And then the only contact will be is if they initiate it. So basically, they're done parenting. Apparently, there was another child that had some kind of skin cancer that they didn't get treated, and now the kid is just this medical mess, and terrible, terrible case. I don't know what state that was in, but it was 4 years ago. So the parents are, well into their jail sentence, and they'll probably get off with good behavior, after a few years. But and they can never work anywhere or be around children ever again. They cannot work anywhere where there's any children under the 18 years of age, and they had to do community service. But the community service had to be with an agency that does not deal with children. So they're done with children. And I suspect if they had any more children, the state would take them away. But the judge said, you guys went beyond, she was pretty civil with them. She goes, you went beyond the bounds of reasonableness. You crossed the line. It troubles me that you didn't recognize the line of reasonableness. And that you didn't give your chance. You didn't forgive your son. He deserved forgiveness. It was sad, pretty sad. So today I'm going to look at Curly's trial, and I'll bring you more of that later this week. In Judge, Jury, and Jury. Oh, today's going to be a lovely day because I'm going to be so tired. I don't know why I have this tendency to just stay up all night. I don't know. What is that about? I crochet. I watch my show. I just like the nighttime. I'm like a vampire. I don't know. Okay, there's still more of this color. And I'm listening to, on Audible, the second book in the Bridgerton series, which has to do with the Viscounts. Now, if you watch the show Bridgerton, it's about Daphne and the Duke. And the name of the book that goes along with that season is The Duke and I. Now, the Viscount, the book about the Viscount is her oldest brother. And so it's been very entertaining. I sat and listened to it yesterday while I was diamond painting, and it's quite entertaining. So let's go to this day in history. Today, for this day in history, we're going to travel outside of the United States and go over to Great Britain. Kim, this is your territory. So, on this day in history, 2006, the largest bank robbery in Britain's history. They called it the Kent Gang. And it's hard to say how many people were actually involved in this heist, but because there were over 30 arrests ultimately. But what happens is, so this guy who's the head of the bank, he's driving his Volvo, and he's on his way home from work or whatever. It's like 6:30 in the evening, and it gets pulled over by the cops. 2 cops pull him over. And it's it's an unmarked car, but the blue light, you're in trouble when an unmarked car with the blue light is in the. I'm like, oh, I'd be shaking in my boots. So this guy, he voluntarily gets out of the car. They handcuff him and pop him into the back of their vehicle. They weren't cops. So meanwhile, 2 other people or 3 other people go to this guy's house in police uniform. And his wife comes to the door, his wife and son come to the door, and they're like, oh, your husband's been in an accident, we need to take you to him. Pop them in the back of the vehicle, drive all 3 of them to this farm, and coerce the husband into telling them how to get past the security in this bank. Now, during the investigation aftermath, this gentleman is questioned. The veracity of this story is highly suspect. But ultimately there was an insider. It wasn't him. There was another guy in the bank that worked in the bank that had actually ahead of time taken pictures with his belt buckle of the inside of this bank. So they had the layout of the bank. They just needed to get past security. Um, Now I'm not sure what kind of bank this was that had this kind of money on site, but it was actually called a depot. I don't know, like they stored money here for banks. So I'm good. As I'm telling the story, I'm going to put up some pictures of these guys inside the bank. Getting past the security system, loading up this money into the back of this vehicle that they had rented. But they bring the family with them to the bank. They end up tying them up, those three people and 14 of the bank employees. So everybody's tied up and they're put into these cages where the money was stored. Ultimately, no one was harmed. Um, they get away with 53 million pounds. Now, I don't know what that is in US dollars, but that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Um, and a lot of it was just used bills, so they were not traceable. But so $53 million. So there's a $2 million reward posted by the insurance company for information leading to the arrest. So like I said, like 30 people ultimately were arrested for this heist, for involvement in this heist. So there's 5 people that were actually tried. These 5 people, well, several people were tried and acquitted, but these 5 people that I'm showing you a picture of, they were tried and were convicted of this bank robbery. Um, and some of the some of the money was recovered. However, try to get the sum. And they think the money has now kind of it's deep in organized crime, this money. But there is still a balance out there that was never recovered of, now I can't find it. I want to say it's like $32 million that they never, yeah, $32 million never recovered. Never recovered. Um, but they think that it just went into organized crime and they'll never find it. The interesting part of this is that they stole all this money. They left $154 million behind because they couldn't fit it into the truck. And when they found the truck, there was money in the truck. They found one of the vehicles. There was money in the vehicles, like not just some money. Like the truck had a million plus pounds in it. The vehicle had like 7 million plus pounds in it. They found, various people with the money here and there, but like I said, 32 million of it was never recovered. Wow. Kim, do you have the money? Where's the money? Wow. And some of these people ended up, of the 30 people, like one committed suicide, one fled the country and was tried in another country. They think 2 of the big ringleaders are living a luxurious life some in Morocco or somewhere else, some other country. Crazy. Yeah, and I agree that the bank manager's involvement is suspect. Yes, here's how you get in, and I will just stand and watch. Ultimately, though, that they do not keep cash in those kind of places anymore. That place shut down. It was sold. There's no cash there anymore. So don't get any ideas. Like you can't go after the fact and do it. It is such a gorgeous day outside. So I think I know what happened to Lewis. I think Lewis is in the attic. I think we have another critter in the attic. Gosh darn it. And I'm going to call the landlord today and I'm going to give her a little piece of my mind. No, I'm not. I'm going to talk very nicely and say, can you bring out another trap? And this time, can we close up whatever's, these critters are coming in. But yesterday there's Lewis. He is out there. The squirrels are back. Anyway, there is something up in the attic. I was sitting here diamond painting yesterday, and I could hear it above me. And like in the laundry room, there's like a hole there in the ceiling. This is an old house, guys. But I've noticed that when I went in yesterday, a bunch of the insulation was on the floor. So now she's going to give me some cockamamie, excuse like, oh, it was cold and I don't know, whatever. But I'm going to be nice and just say, bring your trap, bring your handyman, let's get this problem solved. Because, not that I don't enjoy Lewis's company, but I don't want him in my house. Thank you very much. I picture myself in the laundry room and the squirrel dropping down on top of me, or, I don't think it's another raccoon. It didn't, who knows? It could be. I don't know. I don't ever see raccoons around here. I do see, the birds and the squirrels, but I don't see raccoons. So I'm sure they're out there, but as evidenced by my raccoon that I had. Coffee! Believe in the journey, people! So Monday, just another manic Monday. So I actually did start that blanket. So what I did was I put in my little crochet journal who it belongs to, and then I put what page number the blue wave Afghan is on. Let's go to that page number, and then I put all of the information in there for it. Very cool. Now, I don't know if I'll keep this up, but I like it. That's pretty cool. I should order one to put in a giveaway. Wouldn't that be cool? I'll put that link down, or the link is down in the description of this video right here. So I'll put it, you'll see this video here. Now I gotta remember which video it is. Maybe I'll just put the link in the description. That'll be easier. Okay, we're still finishing up this daggum arrow color here. So Tootsie wanted to go out at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was still awake. And she's like, "You're still awake. Let's go outside." So I was sitting here diamond painting at 2 o'clock in the morning while she was, roaming around outside. All the snow has melted. I finally got a hold of my sister, and she was telling me about this harrowing trip that she had. She also has a lot of pain, and she said there was I guess the roads were in very bad condition, and I don't mean like from the weather, just poorly maintained roads. And then even when they got to Texas, she said they were all under construction. And this trailer that they were hauling, if they went over a bump, the trailer would scrape, and she just said it was just a horrible, bad trip. But they're there, they're in there, they're living in a trailer, they're renting on a farm. So she's like, it's lovely here, I love it, but all I've done is sleep. We unloaded the trailer, and I've been sleeping. So she is now safely deposited in Texas. Out of Florida. Woohoo! I officially only have 2 relatives left in Florida, and I'm estranged from both of them, so all ties have been cut with Florida. Yay! That's the show for today. I hope you enjoyed my little tales of the bank robberies and the trials. Have a great Monday. We I don't look forward to Mondays. Just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. I don't know the words to that song, but I will see you guys tomorrow morning in the morning show. Guys, stay safe, stay warm, and cropped on. Love you all.